Were some novel ideas on how to control porn.
The London presentations reflected a wide range of views. A London businessman offered $500 to anyone who could show him a store selling child porn. Robert Metz of the London Freedom Party told the committee everyone has the right to degrade themselves. He sees censorship as the use of force.
We have a criminal code whose obscenity provisions literally leave anyone charged under them without a legal leg to stand on. There's no possible objective defense in a court of subjectivity, where the opinion of a judge is deemed absolute, and even where that opinion can be overturned at a later date.
Law students from the University of Western Ontario presented a study on prostitution. It included a mathematical formula suggesting that increased prices for prostitution would reduce the number of customers. The students also suggested that laws against prostitutes should be repealed in favor of stronger laws against the customers and pimps, a point that their professor picked up on in her brief.
It seems to me that the act of selling sexual services is qualitatively different from the act of purchasing and from the acts of financial profiteers who are raking profits off other people's work. The latter two groups, customers and profiteers, have choices which are unthinkable, in fact unimaginable, to most prostitutes.
Ms. Backhouse also suggested that prostitutes be recruited as police informers to turn in potential clients. The London Status of Women Action Group brought bondage magazines to the committee session. They say the material has to be stopped at the border or screened before it hits the shelves.
No police force with 4 police officials on vice, and this is not the only area vice deals with, obviously, can deal with that material.
In London, Steve Parr...
Magazines are simply not sold in London. They never have been, and with non-governmental consumer vigilance, they never will. But feminists and Christian people who are using this pornography hysteria are using this child porn scare to cover the fact they are trying to ban, censor, and prohibit materials that basically they're just personally and politically opposed to. And what does it boil down to? They're indeed against sex and the enjoyment of representations of sex.
Margaret McGee of the National Council of Women praised Mark McGuigan's proposed law reforms. On the topic of prostitution, she said it is a crime without a victim.
We are asking that there be no legal prohibition relating to soliciting except in the case of adult soliciting from minors, and that there be increased penalties for procuring and living wholly or in part on the avails of prostitution of another person.
Law students and Professor Constance Backhouse from the University of Western Ontario argued that the prostitute is the victim. They wanted prostitutes to be free from prosecution, but called for penalties against customers or anyone making a profit from prostitutes. Over 20 people addressed the committee. Chairman Mary Eberts called it one of the best hearings so far.
People are very serious about these issues, and we've had some, if you will, some very well thought out and articulate presentations here.
Kathy Wallace, TV London News.